Hi, I'm Nick Knoll, author of Last Call for Freedom, While Black Lives and All American Lives Still Matter. Do black lives matter to you? They do to me. I believe that we're all human beings and we all have natural rights granted by God, including the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But the only thing about black people that's ever mattered to Democratic leaders is subjugating and using them. The Democratic Party was founded by wealthy, elite plantation owners to get more common white men who weren't as rich to help them protect slavery. The enduring core values of Democratic leaders that they try to hide today are that they have a right to control people they consider inferior and that black people are inferior to whites. Democratic leaders claimed that God made black people unfit for anything but slavery and gave slave owners the right to use them, along with the duty to feed, clothe, house, and control them on their plantations. The Republican Party was founded to oppose slavery, and Frederick Douglass, who had escaped from slavery to achieve success on his own, was instrumental. When Republicans won the election of 1860, Democrats fought back hard to protect what they believed was their right to enslave black people. Southern Democrats were called Confederates for 4 years while they tried to tear the country in half to protect slavery. Northern Democrats tried to help them too, winning 45% of the popular vote in the 1864 election as they tried to defeat Abraham Lincoln, end the Civil War, and allow slavery to continue. Republicans abolished slavery and established citizenship and voting rights for the former slaves after the Civil War. But Democrats quickly regained power to subjugate black Americans through segregation, intimidation, Ku Klux Klan terrorism, and lynchings. For almost 100 years after the Civil War, Republicans tried to pass civil rights and anti-lynching laws, but were blocked by Democrats. During that time, many black Americans moved north for better opportunities, and to escape Jim Crow segregation laws Democrats passed and their KKK enforcement arm, which was strongest in the South. When Republicans and civil rights organizations finally forced passage of civil rights laws in the 1950s and 60s, Democrats used their power over the federal government to defeat freedom for black Americans again, and used mass media to blame racial discrimination on Republicans. Democratic leaders suddenly took off their KKK white sheets and hoods, claimed to support civil rights laws, and even claimed ownership. But they immediately defeated equal rights with socialist programs and false promises of equal outcome. Some black Americans escaped their control to become successful on their own. But Democrats keep millions of black Americans segregated and under their control today on modern urban plantations. Their socialist policies have created so much violence that Democrats don't even need the KKK anymore to persecute black people. Today, wealthy, elite Democratic leaders use tax dollars to feed, clothe, house, and control black Americans on their modern urban plantations, almost as if they were slaves again. Elite Democrats don't make their fortunes by owning slave plantations anymore. They make their fortunes by controlling our federal government, which they built to many times its legitimate size and corrupted to serve their purpose of effectively owning and controlling all Americans. They use mass media and the entertainment industry as their own propaganda machine. They control our schools and have turned our schools into their indoctrination centers. Democrats blame the inequality and injustices they've caused on Republicans who freed the slaves and forced passage of civil rights laws. They make fools of white Americans who believe in equal rights and also believe that democratic policies are helping black people. And they make fools of black Americans who believe that Democratic leaders are their champions. But as long as they keep fooling enough Americans, and as long as they own 90% of black votes, black lives will never matter to Democratic leaders, and black and white lives will never matter equally in this country. If we don't defeat the party of slavery, segregation, and socialism now, and refocus our federal government on its legitimate purpose of protecting the lives and freedom of all Americans, none of our lives may matter soon. My book, Last Call for Freedom, While Black Lives and All American Lives Still Matter, is short, it's easy to read and understand, and it cuts through the garbage we've been fed. It will help you explain to others exactly how we got here and what we need to do about it. It's cheap, and it's available now on lastcallforfreedom.com and on amazon.com.